comes someone to the ring that you know very, very well, Rex Andrews, the bounty hunter, Bryan Keith.
One of the most violent men that I ever stepped in the ring with. This guy is looking better than he's ever looked.
Absolutely. Everything is coming together for Bryan Keith right now. He's got the fans behind him. He's got the internet behind him. He's blowing up on Twitter, kind of like his brand representation, Swisher House. And I'm pumped to see Bryan Keith versus Lee Moriarty tonight. Bryan Keith is sponsored tonight by RWR, great friends of the Renegade Wrestling Revolution. Here comes to the ring the apex of combat, Lee Moriarty. The first time I saw Lee Moriarty, he was wrestling ACH at the Collective in Indianapolis, and he has wowed since then and made a name for himself here in America.
Lee Moriarty has been all over the place. He's got this incredible style, blending a lot of different flavors together, and it's working for him. Obviously, he's collecting wins over huge guys, and he's been impressive in all his outings.
Absolutely. Now we're excited to see Bryan Keith versus Lee Moriarty right here in Houston, Texas at ASTROWORLD.
Look at these guys just staring each other down.
This is going to be, oh, goodness
gracious. Bryan Keith, poncho on.
The quickest kicks in the South. Bryan Keith, he's not wasting any time.
He's going quick for it. Here we go. Setting up the Soulfire bomb.
Right from the get. That's got to be it. 2 and 15/16. My goodness, Rex Andrews.
That's the same move that put away Aaron Mercer last month here. That Soulfire bomb is Bryan Keith's go-to.
Absolutely brutal power bomb that Bryan Keith has started to implement in his offense.
Now see, look, this is interesting. Right off the bat, Lee Moriarty's, he's taking some damage here. How is he going to be able to get himself back in this fight to take on somebody as dangerous as Bryan Keith?
Well, I don't think you rise to the level that Lee Moriarty has in this country if you don't have some resilience, you don't have some fight in you. And that's, oh my goodness, he just broke
the man's
that.
headphones.
Jeez.
Bryan Keith coming out, leather chaps, beating ass and ponchos.
This is a different Bryan Keith that we've seen. This is a different Bryan Keith that you faced before. This is a different Bryan Keith than I have faced before. This is a different man in the ring right now.
He's stepping up the violence. He's coming to prove a point.
And now he's talking trash to the fans here, even though he's admired here by the fans. Oh, Lee Moriarty catches the boot.
Nice block.
Boot to the face himself. There we go. Oh, we got fireworks here at ASTROWORLD right off the bat.
Kicking this thing off strong.
Oh,
trading vicious shots.
Trading chops here in the middle of the ring. I don't know if that's a wise decision to trade strikes with Bryan Keith. And here we go. Lee Moriarty implementing some lucha that he's trained with before. And I know Bryan Keith has had many of lucha shows here in Houston, Texas.
Look at that. Lee Moriarty is so smooth.
It's the hybrid of lucha and that strong style that Lee's able to implement in his offense.
So I'm saying we started off with some like all Japan style 4 pillars wrestling. Now we're getting some lucha. This is look, the fans are loving it. This is some good stuff right here.
This might be the people's main event here to lead things off. I know this is your main event here, Rex, and this is going to be brutal from the get. Oh, Lee Moriarty with the fake out here.
Another block kick.
Lands on his feet. Big boot to the arm.
Right to the shoulder.
Got him in a tombstone to the outside. My goodness.
On the floor.
Oh my goodness, is he out? Ref Isaac's got to go check on Lee Moriarty. He might be out cold.
Bartek, I want to tell you, I don't know if Lee Moriarty's going to be able to get back in the ring.
This has got to be it.
Let alone continue this fight.
Don't even do the 10 count. Let's just end it. Oh no, Bryan Keith puts his hand on Isaac now.
What did you do to Bryan Keith?
I have done nothing to Bryan Keith. This is something that's been brewing in this man for years.
He's using New Texas as an outlet to show people how far this guy's willing to go to make a name for himself in wrestling.
And look at Lee Moriarty giving everything that he's got in his body right now just to get to the apron. He's getting the ring here.
Lee Moriarty obviously has a lot of resiliency just to stay in the fight just so far in this thing.
Absolutely.
How many more of those flurries is he going to be able to put together?
Here's a big kick to the back by Bryan Keith.
Vicious.
That's what Bryan Keith's all about, violence. And the level of violence that we've seen from Bryan Keith, we haven't seen before.
Just deliberate with everything. He's out here to win the fight. He's out here to prove a point. This guy's got kids at home. He's been at wrestling for his entire adult life. Now he sees this opportunity to break out. He's going to put whatever he can on the guy.
Absolutely. Bryan Keith said something last month where he's trying to see if the other person's a man standing across the ring from him. So he torments his opponent almost to see what they have in him. Are they a man? Will they step man to man with him? Like Lee Moriarty's trying to do right here.
Look at that.
And you're going to get hit. You've been hit by them forearms.
You're going to get concussed.
And I think that's the switch that's turned on for Bryan Keith. He's not afraid to go in there and test a man.
He's not afraid to concuss you.
Because at the end of the day, he's not one of these wrestlers that are going out there and doing this on the weekend. He's here to feed his family, and that's what's most important. When the man's feeding his family, he flips a switch. And Lee Moriarty, with a kick there to his arm, that's what he's been working on this whole match.
Yeah, real clever. Despite taking all this punishment, he's looking for opportune moments where he can attack that arm.
Yep. As long as he can get that arm in a compromised position, he's still in the fight. My goodness, what a kick to the face there from Moriarty. And Lee. Double stomp. My goodness, Moriarty with a flurry of offense that I've never seen before. And the fans here in Houston, Texas are loving it.
There's a fight in Lee Moriarty. This guy is unstoppable.
This is like I said, this was that match we're looking forward to, and Lee's got some resilience to fight. Like I said, there's a reason why he's rose to the top of this country. Back elbow to the face. Spins him out. Big tornado DDT on his head. Roll through with the pin. Beautiful.
See, that's what I've seen from Lee Moriarty so far, is this guy can hit you from different directions than you've seen before. Bryan Keith's very experienced. Like you said, he's done lucha. He's done the strong style competitive wrestling before. But Lee Moriarty is looking for different angles in all of his offense.
Absolutely, and that's the great thing. He has a good playbook where he's able to piece his offense together that's effective to that arm and to the head of Bryan Keith.
Talk about a playbook.
Oh, my goodness.
Back of the neck.
What a maneuver. Big kick out there from Lee Moriarty. He's still got some fight in him.
Staying into the crowd's really loving Lee Moriarty. I believe
Absolutely.
It's the first time he's been in Houston.
First time in Texas, I believe.
Yeah.
And the thing, you go into Bryan Keith's backyard here in Houston, Texas, and you're in his home turf.
Greens Point?
And that he's able to win the crowd over in such a way because of his impressive offense and his resilience here. Oh, goodness. He's
God,
showing us
just
something right
kicking
here.
the man in the face. Bryan Keith, that fighting spirit. See, that's what I love.
Double forearms here. Big forearm there from Bryan
Who
Keith.
trades forearms for kicks?
Bryan Keith is that man. Bryan Keith to the outside. Moriarty's looking for some offense here. Lope, my goodness. Takes him out. He's not done with him. Tosses him back in the ring. Hops up to the apron.
On top rope, inside.
Inside the ring. He's collecting himself. Oh, tornado boot. That's got to be it.
Right into the pin.
2.
My God.
Big kick out from Bryan Keith.
Wait for Lee to go straight for that pin. Make the most of that. Bryan Keith still in the fight. Shaking out that arm.
Absolutely. I love that Lee Moriarty went for the win there. That's what this is all about. And Bryan Keith still favoring his arm here. You've got to keep an eye on that.
Look at that, Lee. Looking for those angles to attack that arm.
Oh, he rolls through with the pin. 1, 2. Right back to the arm. You've got to appreciate this offense here.
It's very targeted. I appreciate.
Oh, wait a minute.
Trading some slick pins.
Who's pin is?
Bryan Keith
Bryan with the tights.
holding
Yeah,
the tights. That's not something that I would expect to see from Bryan.
Bryan Keith picking up the huge win over Lee Moriarty. My goodness. He had a handful of tights there, right, Rex Andrews?
After the display of aggression and violence that I've seen from Bryan Keith, I wouldn't think that this guy who is the man is going to go out there and cheat to win.
I think he's at that point in his career. He wants the win purse. He wants that win bonus. He's not here to play games. He wants to win. He has a family to feed, and that's exactly what the bounty hunter Bryan Keith's going to do.